Welcome back, everyone. It is the next day, depending on that transitional work. Um, yeah, so a few things have changed here from where we likely left off. I got this side mostly put back together. One of the slide pins was definitely very stuck. The e-brake thing was a pain in the butt to remove. Not a big deal. We got this rotor on. And I got the bracket on. I can't find anywhere with hardware, so I'm going to go against my better judgment and reuse the hardware. But we also picked up a brand new to us brake caliper at the junkyard for $20. I swapped the bleeder out. This one, the bleeder was a little rusty. The boot actually looks, the dust boot looks pretty good. It's even still got a QR code in there from something. So yeah, $20. So we're gonna use this one, and came off of I think another 04. So should just pop right in really. So I even stole the hardware. Fun fact: the brakes or the vehicle that I took it off of, the 04, was also having issues with its brakes. There was definitely some uneven pad wear. So, oops. No, that one was even having an issue with this same one, and one of the caliper pins were definitely a little sticky. So, but I did clean everything up. I got everything greased. So, we're gonna slap this back on. Slap all this metal on. So what I discovered with these, I didn't know this before, so if you're doing a Silverado, this is, I think, I don't know, there's a few different variations of this vehicle setup. So what I have, I don't think I have the heavy duty brakes, but these brackets I think are beefier, so maybe they are. I don't know. I watched a couple of YouTube videos on it. I couldn't find anywhere that had the brake hardware in stock, and so today is Sunday, so no one's going to get it delivered until Monday, and I want to get this done today. It's starting to get cold, and I've got other things to work on, so I don't really, sorry for the head, I don't really want to be doing this forever, so I want to get it done today. We got other things I need to work on. So, but cool. So now we got these Wheeze brake pads and Wheeze brake rotors. So I don't know, whatever they were. The whole kit was $100. A few other brands were a little bit more expensive. But I don't know. I mean, it's a $500 truck. I don't know. Does this thing deserve the fanciest of fancy brakes, or do you think it just deserves to be treated like the truck that it is? Oh, now, of course, like the best part, right? These are the same pads, right? Yeah, they are the same pads. Okay, just making sure. I honestly, I truly hate putting pads in. It's always a frustrating and challenging experience. Yeah, like why doesn't this want to fit? So is it, no, I mean the orientation is correct. So, you know, because you don't want to hit them too hard. There we go. Oh yeah, those are going to be tight. Yes. You don't want to hit them too hard, and really, if you're doing this yourself, you know, you really should avoid getting grease on the pads too. $500 truck, something, blah, 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 so I'm not really too worried about it, but, you know, if you cared, you would not want to be getting grease and oil all over it. See, now, that one almost just pops right in. Why was this one giving me such a hard time? There. And you know, if you damage the pads, they come in pairs, so, or usually sets. So you're buying the whole farm if you damage them. So, all right, so now we take our fancy new, to me, caliper. So now we got to push this back in. Now, you can do it a million different ways, right? Most of them are just to press in. Some of them do have like it's a little hard to see, but there can be a key down here that you'll have to turn. And so they sell tools that'll do that. I've used C-clamps before. You can use channel locks. Doesn't really matter. So, however, if you are pushing these back in, you want to make sure that you don't overfill the brake reservoir. Now, if you're doing like one axle, it's probably not the end of the world. You probably won't overfull. But if you're doing like all four or all two axles, four corners, you might overfill your brake fluid reservoir, especially if you've like remembered that you've topped it off because like, oh, my brake fluid's low. So likewise, if you have them disconnected like this, you can sometimes, yeah, see, that's moving in by hand, but you can sometimes just push it in by hand because there's no back pressure, right? Because this is obviously unhooked. I will show you, this is going in pretty easy, but I'll show you my tool. So let me actually back you up for a hair. There we go. I do think this is not really an Astro tool, but it does say Astro on it. So I use this. I bought it a long time ago. So, in fact, I must already have the part out. Whatever. So, this is a caliper press kit, and it comes with different dies. 22 mil is the size of this right here, so I always remember, because sometimes this can be a little stuck. You should be able to do it by hand, but like I said, they are finicky. So, and all that I do, oh yeah, we need that back plate too. How this works is, you know, and honestly, it is kind of easier if it's on the car. I guess we could go over to the workbench, but I'm feeling lazy. So it's Lazy Sunday today. So this die goes on. And then this backing plate also goes on. And so how this works, you just thread this over this way. And you can see it's getting tighter. So it's snug. So now I have a wrench for just better leverage. So we can take the wrench and basically do that, but I don't think we'll even need it for this one. We'll need it for the other side. I'll probably do the other side off camera only because I think this video is gonna be long enough, but you just basically turn it and you can see it's not hard. So I have noticed, like if you, let's say you have like a project car or something, or a car that sits for a while, I have noticed that these will get tight. Your calipers will if they sit for a while, so that first couple compresses can be a little frustrating, but for the most part, it's pretty easy. So I've run into a couple again where I need the wrench, and so yeah. So now when you put this on, you want to lube. You can do it one of two ways. You can either just lube the pads, or I like to just lube these, the two ears and then the piston. So that is how you stop squeaks. So we just lube that up, and then we come over here. Lube that up really well. I'm sorry, the lighting's on the other side. I should move it, but I'm probably not going to. So then we put this back on. And then we just tighten this up. I still need to torque everything. My computer died last night. So now I'm not sure when this video will come out. I was hoping to edit it this week, but my computer crashed. And so I took the shop laptop in. And so I was looking for torque specs. And of course the shop laptop's in the house now. And so I gotta go get it. I could use my phone, but you guys are my phone right now. So we tighten those up and whichever size that might be. It's this one right here. I will say too, you know, if you ever have the opportunity, you should get a rolly cart. The reason why I like are these like little rolly chairs. I like these little rolly chairs. Perfect for like, you know, especially if you're doing something like this. And, you know, you're just wheeling around. You know, you can just leave the sockets that you're going to need to do the other side, like in the bottom. So you're not, oh, I put them all on the other side. They're all on the other side. Or where'd I put them? Blah, blah, blah. Right? So it's very convenient. And we can see even with this nice little rolly chair, I still put stuff literally all over the place. So, not very cash money of me. There we go. But yeah, off camera, I did get this bracket rebuilt. So the bracket's all set. The pins are cleaned up and lubed up. But you saw it on the other side. So this side I wanted to show you the carnage. That rotor was pretty smoked. I don't usually put off brakes. I was going to do them earlier this year. I was going to do it with my grandpa too, and because of my finger incident, it was just hard to turn wrenches. My grandpa's getting up there in age, and so I don't want him to do it himself. And also, it's not that he can't, but you know, he just is slower than he used to be. He's a master mechanic for most of his career, working at either a shop. He worked at a Ford dealer for a while. He did road construction. He worked on heavy equipment, and then he worked. I think him and his brother owned a shop for a while. So I wanted to do it and spend time with him, and then I messed up my finger. And that was kind of a bummer. And then my buddy borrowed my truck. I mean, the brakes were kind of on their last go anyway, but I was going to try and get out there. And then my buddy borrowed my truck, and then, you know, I mean, it's not his fault, but, you know, I can't drive 180 miles with brakes like this, so I don't think I would have made it. So, and again, it's no one's fault. I put it off. So I might, I'll probably link all the torque values. I think we're probably going to call this video. The other side's about the same. So all we really got to do is put on the Banjo bolt now and then bleed the system. So the video's already long enough. So maybe I'll make a part 2 or a part 3, I don't know, bleeding the brake system. The one thing that you can do, if you're doing this by yourself, you have a few different options available. Don't think you always need someone. You kind of do, but you don't. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to gravity bleed this system first. And so what that is, gravity bleeding is pretty neat, but I'm basically just going to crack this bleeder open once I get this connected, and then wait until fluid starts trickling out, and it'll speed up the bleeding process. It allows you to do other stuff while you're, you know, while you're waiting for the car to bleed, because otherwise you could spend quite a bit just trying to pump your brakes and get the first little bit of fluid to start coming out. And it also agitate all the fluid and mix in a whole bunch of air. So I like gravity bleeding. That works out really well. I would still do a couple of pumps, which you can do the bottle method. You can do, I have a Mighty Vac, and you can also buy speed bleeders, which are cool. I think my wife's Jeep, I think I put on a couple of speed bleeders. Basically, they close, they only let fluid out one way when you crack them loose, so they won't pull air back in. So you can basically sit and pump all by yourself into, you know, I usually just do like a pop bottle, and you'll always get, you know, you shouldn't pull air back into the system. So also is the Banjo bolt has 2 copper washers on them. Mine were stuck. You historically want to replace those, or at least sand them smooth. So I've done both. I did not do that this time around, and I will probably regret it. Do as I say, not as I do, as someone once said. But yes, I mean, I put them on like a 120 grit and just flatten, you know, and sanded out all the corner or all the ribs. I've reused them. I don't. If you're gonna do like a good brake job, you don't want to reuse them. So, right. So now all I've done is I've cracked this open, this bleeder. So now it's gonna fill this caliper up with fluid, and then I'm gonna go pop the hood in a bit. Like I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'm just gonna start picking up all the tools and sweep quick. I'm gonna call it a day, but. Yeah, no, you just let it, once it starts dripping, you close it off, and then you know that the caliper is at least full. Now, is there air trapped in a small corner? Maybe, but, you know, shouldn't be a big deal. So, but there you have it. If you've made it this far, thanks for sticking around. I don't know, leave some comments, leave some ideas, more stuff you want to see. We got $500 truck projects, we got Jeep projects. My buddy's dad dropped off this Husqvarna that we get to work on. It doesn't run. I don't know what's wrong with it. I asked for details, and I have not been provided any yet. So, oh yeah, look at that. We're already dripping. Sweet. So, also too, you don't want to like leave this overnight. A, you'll probably just run out of fluid, and also, if you don't know already, brake fluid is incredibly slippery. Like, really slippery. So but yeah, so I don't know, we got some other projects. We got the Fiero, the Corvair's in the shed or in the garage. I think I mentioned that. That'll probably be some winter videos, and we'll probably work on the skid steer a bit. So I'm done with school hopefully by like April. So next spring and summer, more videos, more stuff to do. So but awesome. I will catch y'all later. Smack that sub button if you're not a member yet. I don't know, something, blah, 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 YouTube algorithm. And I will see you all later.